to everyone. My name is Sandeep. I am working as assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology of MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. So previously we discussed that what is the control statements and what are the types of control statements, that is conditional statements, selection, or we can say selection statements, loop statements, or we can say iteration statements, next jump statements, or we can say transfer statements. So previously we completed the discussion about the conditional statements, and also we complete that what is the loop statements. So loop statements is used for what purpose means to execute the statements repeatedly. To execute the statements repeatedly. So that is the purpose of the loop statements. Next, here we had that in that one we have the two types of loop statements, that is while loop and for loop. So among that one we complete the discussion, that is while loop in previous discussion. Today we are going to discuss about this. First one is for loop, right? And later jump statements and types of jump statements, and then in the types of jump statements we have the break statement. Anyway, see here, first for loop we'll discuss. The for loop in Python is used to iterate the statements or a part of the program several times, right? So that means the for loop is also useful to execute a statements repeatedly. The for loop is also useful to execute a statements repeatedly. So, but here while loop is also useful to execute the statement repeatedly multiple times. But what is the difference? Or when we have to choose the while loop and when we have to choose the for loop? That for loop here is when we have to choose the for loop. Whenever you know the number of iterations in advance, whenever you know the number of iterations in advance, at that time you can use the for loop. Whenever you don't know the number of iterations in advance, at that time you can use what? While loop. So this is what for loop and while loop. Okay. Next, here we have the syntax. What is the syntax means? For iterate here, this is what iterative variable, or we can say iterating variable in sequence. That sequence may be a list, tuple, dictionary, like that one. Anything. And then statement has to be executed. For example, for each value of I in, for example, list, then statements. So like that one. That means that every element present in the sequence that will be assigned to variable I, which is iterative variable I. Once again I will tell you, whatever in each element present in the sequence, that element is assigned to variable I. So that is the thing. Okay. So now see here, for example, first I will discuss an example. See, I equals to 1. Now for each value of I in range I, otherwise will I equals to 10. Now see, okay, now for range of I, or if you take here x, it's better. Okay, now? And here we can do that x, then print I. That means, so what is the range of x? 10. 10 means from where it will be print? So from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 9, but not 10. So that is the range function already we discussed in the data types, right? So up to 9. So that means that print statement will be repeatedly execute up to how many times? 10 times. Now see what happened? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that one. Okay. That means what is the range value here? 10. So 10 means from where it will be start? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means whatever the elements are present in that range, that elements has to be assigned to iterative variable I one by one, and then that values will be printed by using print function. So how many values are there present in the range function or in the range, that many times the print statement will be executed repeatedly. Here I know how many values are there present in the range sequence. That is 10 values are there from 0 to 9. So in advance I know that print statement will be executed repeatedly how many times? 10 times. So in this way we can choose what? For loop. Okay. Next we have else with for loop. Okay. Else with for loop. Yes. In Java and C programming language, else could not be possible with the loops, but here it is possible. That is, in Python it is possible. For loop is with that, else we can use with the for loop. Here see, Python allows us to use the else statement with the for loop, which can be executed only when all the iterations are exhausted. That means whenever all the values are completed, which is present in the sequence, then after completion of that only the else statement will be executed. The else statement will be executed, right? Now see an example. We'll take a different example. See, list 10, 20, 30, 50, 60. Now for each value of I in where? List. Now print I. Now what will be happen? Whatever the element is present in the list, that each and every element will be assigned to iterative variable I, and one by one, and then it will be printed. Now how many values are there? Total 6 values are there in the sequence. So we know in advance, okay, that statement will be executed repeatedly. How many times? 6 times. So that's why we choose here what? For loop. Okay. Now see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay. So like that one. Yeah. For example, now see, if all the elements are present in the sequence is completed. Now you can use else block and then what? For loop is completed. Okay. Now see, I will execute this program. What happened? For loop is completed. So how it is possible? Means for loop using else block or else with for loop. Okay. So when the else block will be executed? If all the elements are exhausted in the sequence, then only the else block will be executed, right? So that is about what? Else with for loop. Next we had jump statements. So what is the jump statements? So jump statements in Python is used to change the flow of execution like a loop or condition statements. But how these jump statements will be useful means it has to be jump from one statement to another statement. For example, here see, so statement 1 and statement 2 and then statement 3. For example, I want to execute the statement or jump the statement from statement 1 to statement 3. That is the flow of execution. That means without executing the statement 2, after statement 1 will be executed, then immediately, directly the statement 3 will be executed. So at that time we can use what? Jump statements. So anyway, here we have the two types of jump statements are there, mainly break statement and continue statement. So first we will see the break statement. So break is a keyword. That breaks keyword is used along with the loops. Okay, along with the loops. See here, the break statement used in the loops, right? So for what purpose we are going to use the break statement in the loops means whenever a condition met, the loop, if you want to terminate the loop forcibly, then you can use the break statement. So break statement is used to terminate the loops, to terminate the loops, right? See here syntax, I equals to 6 and I less than 6, but and here I am going to print if I value becomes 3. If I value becomes 3, then the break statement has to be executed. So whenever the break statement has to be executed, then 1, 2, 3. Remaining 4, 5, 6 values won't be executed. Why? Because of whenever I value becomes 3, then the loop has to be terminated. Forcibly we are terminating. How we can do means by using break statement. Remaining statements won't be executed, right? So that is the thing. For example, here see I equals to 1. So 1 less than 6. Condition true or false? True. Now print will be, the value will be printed as 1. Now the condition will be check. 1 equals to 3. 1 is 3. No, the condition becomes true. That's why the flow will not enter into the block, into the if block, and directly it will be increment the value. So addition assignment operator, we can say this one. Okay, now? So now what will be happen? I value becomes 2. Again it will come back to while loop and check the condition. 2 is less than C. So 2 is less than C. Sir, 2 is less than 6. Yes. Then the value will be printed. Now here again the condition will be checked. 2 equals to 3. No. The condition becomes false. That's why it will be what? It won't enter into the if block. Directly it will execute the increment statement, that is addition assignment statement, right? So like that one until 3 will be printed. So whenever the I value becomes 4, it will come back to here. So 4 is less than 6. So condition true. Now the value will be, what will be happen? Sorry, 4 is less than 6. Okay, now the value will be printed. Now see, if 4 equals to 3, 4 is 3? No. So then the loop will be terminated. The loop will be terminated because of here the condition true. 4 is 3. 4 is 3 means no. What? So it is what? 4 is not equals to 3. So 4 is not equals to 3 means what? What will be happen? So whenever I value becomes 3, then only it will stop here. It won't execute the next statements. So 3 equals to 3. What will be happen? Condition true. Whenever the condition true, then the flow will enter into the if condition, if block, then break statement will be executed. Whenever the break statement is executed, total while loop will be terminated, right? So let me see an example. I equals to 1. Next, while I less than or equals to 10, then print I. Now if okay, A equals to, for example, here we given what 1 to 6, but here I am giving what 1 to 10. A equals to 4, right? Now see, break statement has to be executed, and I equals to I plus 1. Okay, now see, when, so actually I need to print what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But whenever I value becomes 4, whenever I value becomes 4, then what will be happen? It will be execute the break statement. Whenever the break statement is executed, the loop will be terminated. So that means from 5 onwards, the values could not be executed. Let me see, but before going to that one, save this program. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. From 5 onwards, it won't print the statements. So this is the break statement. Because of the break statement is used here what? To terminate the loops. So this is about what? One of the jump statement, which is break statement. Okay. So where we are going to use the jump break statement means within the loops, right? Next, here we have the continue statement. This is also one of the jump statement. So the continue statement is what? It is also useful to control the program execution, but there is a difference between the break statement and continue statement. Continue statement simply terminate the loop whenever the condition is met, but here just it skips that instruction and continue with the remaining code of lines and continue with the remaining code of lines. So that is about what continue statement. See here, I will show you that one through an example. Actually here, what is that one? Whenever I value becomes 4, the loop has to be terminated. But if I use continue statement, whenever I value becomes 4, only that particular statement has to be skipped, and then from 5th statement onwards again it will be continue. That means 1, 2, 3 and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that one it will be execute. Okay, now let me see an example. I save this program. Now see what happened. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did not give in that one. Just a minute. So it is what infinite loops is also we can say, right? Why? Because of here, see the difference here. What is the difference? Before I am printing that value, before the if statement, I use that print statement. See, right? So that is the thing. Anyway, right now, next, see here what happened here. We take the string. We took the string value, right? Now see, for loop I will take, or we'll take this example only. Okay, now see, right? If I equals to 4, then what will be happen? Whenever I equals to 4, see, for example, if I write here I, okay, now see what will be, just we will see some different cases. It will be stop only, right? 1, 2, 3, right? So that's why it is better, right? See, I value is 1, 1 less than 10, yes, condition true. Next, I value becomes 4, right? So what will be happen? It will be continue, right? So anyway, we'll take that string example to better understand purpose, right? Now see, str equals to, right? So input function and then enter the string value. Enter the string value. So here also, see, in this example we took the string value from the user point of. How can we take? By using input function. By using what? Input function. Now see, for each value of I in str, right? That means whatever the user are going to enter the value, and that value has to be assigned to the str. Okay, now each and every character will be assigned to I value. Whenever that character comes to h, that means if I value becomes h, then you have to skip and then print. Okay, now see, I will write that program. I equals to character h, then continue, sorry, right? So print I end. So you know what is the attribute here? End attribute means what? It continues the output in the same line. It continues the output in the same line. So that is the end attribute. Okay, that is the end attribute. Now see, so for example, my home. So when, right, see what happened here, my is printed, but whenever h is there, it is skip and continue with the next character, and continue with the next character. So just it is skip that instruction, and it skips that what statement and continue with the next statement. So that is about what? Continue statement. So break statement is used to terminate the loops, and continue statement is just we can say pass that flow of execution and continue with other statements or next statements. So that is about what? Jump statements. Next, see here. Yes, finally here. So jump statements in Python control flow by it is useful to transferring that execution to different part of the code, right? So here see, executes, what is the purpose of the break statement? Means it exits the loop, exit from the loop whenever a condition is met. And continue statement is what? Skips the current iteration of the loop and continue with the next iteration. Skip the current iteration. That iteration, how we can give that one? Based on the condition. Here see, okay na? Based on the condition, right? So this is about what? Control statements, right? So in next topic we'll discuss about that functions like that, right? Thank you.